Yeah, welcome to the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Reviews and reactions. Let's go. It's the Brown Boy Wonder. Hold it down, representing for the culture. Every episode brings you closer into the mind and the heart of a hustler, where the truth and the groove collide. Stay tuned in, come enjoy the ride. Keep it authentic like that, never hold back. It's the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. The Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Subscribe, share, and stay tuned in. The vibe's always on.
Welcome to the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Guys, it is time for AEW Full Gear Predictions 2025. Of course, it is at the Newark, New Jersey area. Let me bring on my guest here. My only guest this evening. He is a Hall of Famer. It is Azam. Azam, how are you doing today?
What's going on, boys? What's going on? Well, singular boy, because we're the only two people here. I'm excited to talk about Full Gear, and let's run down these predictions. I will be attending the event, so I will be thinking about these predictions in real time.
Yeah, so hopefully you get it 100%. Let's get it going for the first pre-show match here. It is the Boom and Doom, of course, AJ and QT Marshall with Big Justice versus RPG Vice, of course, Rocky and Trent. Who do you have here?
That's an easy one. I'm gonna give this match boom, for my boy, Jersey native, Big Boom AJ. Yeah.
The thing is, man, they've been winning every time we've seen them. I think Big Justice is gonna low blow his dad. I think it's time to see that.
Big Justice low blowing his dad would definitely cause an earthquake. I feel like you would see like the Hudson River would just like engulf itself if that happened.
Look, yeah.
But no, I think so. RPG Vice are a part of the Don Callis family. I mean, who isn't at this point?
No.
So there could be some shenanigans, but I think that as comfortably as like the opener match, I think probably leading into the show, we're gonna get another dub. Gonna be seated there with the double chunk chocolate cookie or whatever the hell it is.
They'll do something. The Rizzler will be there too, so a lot of things gonna happen there.
For sure.
You pick Boom and Doom. The next pre-show match is for 200K fair to four tag team match. That's a mouthful. Of course, Matt Caster and Anthony Bowens versus Bang Bang Gang versus Big Bill and Brian Keith versus the Outrunners. Who do you have here, man?
So my one prediction is that the Outrunners will once again have cigarette-themed gear. I believe they had Newport gear at All Out, and they had Marlboro gear recently. Maybe they'll pull out the Camel gear or Winston or some other cigarette brand. But I think the most storytelling that can be done is probably with the Acclaimed winning it. Because, they've been teasing them coming back together and stuff. There's definitely some headway there. I think I want to see the Bang Bang Gang win it. Because I just feel bad. Like Jay White got injured and stuff, and they were a crowd favorite. But yes. I predict that the Acclaimed will win it.
I like that. I like that pick because when they split, no one kind of liked that. They rather see them together.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like what Max Caster was doing as like the best wrestler alive. That was like really funny. And he's the kind of guy where he doesn't need to win to be over. I didn't really like Anthony Bowens like split because I don't know. I think that like he's a good wrestler. I like the theme song. I like the Power Rangers inspired gear.
Yeah.
But it just kind of felt like shoehorned, like they were kind of forcing it too much. Nothing but respect to, Anthony Bowens, right? But I just felt like the way that they positioned him, it just kind of like it's like, yeah, we know he was a great wrestler, but like I don't think he needed to be hot shotted like that in a way that he was.
Yeah.
But also, the Acclaimed were like an amazing tag team. Like there are tag teams that have synergy that is beyond just two guys being together. And I think that like FTR is and the Young Bucks, they are the textbook definition of tag team synergy. I
Yes.
think that Max Caster, Anthony Bones had that, and they didn't need to disband them. But I'm glad that they're hopefully teasing them coming back together, right? This time with Jerry Lynn, and not Billy Gunn. But yeah,
I agree with you, man. It is for 200K. Do do they claim really need that money?
well, the question is, Tony Khan's a big money guy, right?
I guess so. But there
He
are. Yeah,
what
go
were you
ahead.
gonna say?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say he has probably shelled out like, allegedly millions of dollars on these like jackpot matches.
Yeah,
But I think that there's a story to be told with the Acclaimed in terms of like how they spend that money. Do they split it in half?
they should.
I don't know.
All right. Well, let's get into the third pre-show match. Man, they should stop with the pre-show matches. Just put all these matches on the main card. Just do that. Come on.
I think that
Um,
there's a lot of pay-per-view like buys that are genuinely influenced by like the pre-shows.
yeah,
Because like usually for any other event, like a UFC pre-show, even like a WWE pre-show, you don't really give a crap, right? You're kind of just like watching it, like, oh, whatever, right? Like
mm,
wait for the main card to start. But in this case, it's like, yo, like dude, in the last at Wrestle Dream, it was an FTR match, and like they're fighting as the fireworks are going off on some WCW Nitro shit. It was so cool. Like it was. I was like, "What's going on?" Like, and I was switching the feed from on my app, like from the main feed to the regular feed. In that time, like, yo, like it was like just straight up, like a jump cut to this fight. But I mean, they're doing it for a reason. I feel like there's a lot of pre-show matches this time, and clearly it works for them. So, hats off, I guess, for figuring that out.
I guess so. All right. Well, the third pre-show match, it is a trios match for the CMLL World's Trio Championship. Of course, the champions El Sky team versus the Don Callis family. This is a big match here. Who do you have here?
Um, Takeshita is a part of the Don Callis family on the pre-show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think El Sky team wins with Hechicero taking the pin. Um, like just off of them announcing Mystico alone, there was 1,000 more tickets sold just off his announcement. So the guy's a draw for sure.
Yeah.
And like I don't think we realize it, but Mystico is like genuinely, allegedly compared to like Kenny Omega in Mexico. He's legit like that for Mexico. So he moves tickets. I think that they get the belts, or they retain rather.
Yeah.
And like it's Mystico, Mascara Dorada, and somebody else, right? Who was the third guy?
It is Mystico Neon.
Okay, I'm not familiar with Neon, but Mystico, Mascara Dorada, like yeah, they're getting them belts.
Absolutely. All right, and the last pre-show match, it is in a tag team match. Of course, Hook and Eddie Kingston versus the Work Horsemen. Of course, Anthony Henry and JD Drake. What do you have here?
All right, so I've met JD Drake. Guy's
Hmm.
awesome. I met him twice. I met him at a Deadlock show, and I met him at the bowling event before Revolution 2023.
Oh,
He's super chill. Workhorsemen are awesome. They have that synergy. They have that tag team. They are just no BS. Like they beat the crap out of anyone that they face. Um, but unfortunately, in AEW, they are, you know, like they're like job guys, right? For
hmm,
lack of a better word. The fans love them, so they're over for sure. But I think that unfortunately, for the workhorsemen. Hook and Eddie Kingston are gonna win. But I'm not gonna lie, man. I do not care about Hook, bro.
Oh
I
man.
do not care about Hook.
I,
Like the guy just it's another case of something being forced down your throat that you don't really care about, right? Like, I mean, I want the kid to succeed, but he doesn't do anything for me. He was over as like a meme, right? Like
yes.
when he was eating chips and he had the big hair and like also like I think honestly with like the last straw for me was like when they got rid of his Action Bronson theme song.
Mm.
Like it's like okay, like now he's got some like Action Bronson, one of my favorite rappers, right? It's like damn, like now he don't have the theme song no more. What else do I care about, right? Um,
That's true.
I feel like it's so bad that like even Eddie Kingston isn't helping him get over it. Like Eddie Kingston is like a fan favorite, one of my favorites, right? Like I
Mhm.
will defend that man to the day I die, right? But it's like even I don't care about like I don't care about Eddie Kingston and Hook, man. It sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think what AEW is trying to do, or I don't know what they're trying to do, but what I think is trying to do, is trying to get that Dominic Mysterio character into Hook, but I don't think it's connecting with the audience. Unless they turn him to a bad guy, but I mean, he's like still like young, brash, young stud in the wrestling business.
Yeah, it's like young is now like the baseline definition for like I think the average age of like AEW like mid card I would say.
Yeah.
Because you have so many guys like like Blake Christian and what do you call what's his name Lee Johnson.
Yes.
You have Lee Moriarty, Wheeler Yuta, you have Daniel Garcia, Nick Wayne is the next big thing in wrestling. Kyle
Mm.
Fletcher is like the current big thing, right? Like I don't see why like okay, there's a genuine criticism I have on some like if I can put my Jim Cornette hat on for a little bit, right? Like John Moxley and Mercedes Moné work more indies than people like Hook and Anna Jay and etc. Right? People that have been there since day one, right?
Right.
Like, yo, if two of the greatest to ever put on a pair of boots can work indies and get that experience and like go to Japan and like, work with the New Japan dojo, like, dude, like there's levels to this shit, right? Like, and AW talent pool is so star studded that like you can see. So there's people who naturally have talent that may be putting in the work, like in the gym, like behind closed doors. So I think Julia Hart and Sky Blue are a perfect example of that, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think it also helps like who like your partner is, right? Like when I say partner, like in real life, like Julia Hart is married to Lee Johnson, right? Like they're
Mhm.
both like Lee is a phenomenal athlete, right? He may not have the character work down, but like they can. I'm sure they train together and they learn things from each other, and like that helps them going, right? And Sky Blue is Kyle Fletcher's girlfriend, right? Like Kyle Fletcher is
Yeah.
one of the best in the world right now. Like you can tell that they know ball for real, right? Like um uh in Anna Jay's case, she's with Jungle Boy, right? Like you would think that
Mhm.
like, there would be some like rub off there. I think Anna Jay has improved a lot. She's good, way better than she was when she started. She
Mhm.
could be way better. There's a ceiling that AEW has like the ceiling is higher now for people when you have people that come from outside, like Megan Bain and Tekla, people that did their time in Stardom, right? Like
Yeah.
you know, or for example, like Kevin Knight from the New Japan Dojo, bro. Kevin Knight came in and unprovoked had an opener match with Will Ospreay on at was in Philly at Dynasty, right? And
Yes.
dog like blew everyone's socks off. You can get, and you don't have to be a high flyer. I'm kind of ranting, but like you can get over by just working the fundamentals and working the basics. I think AEW a criticism would be they just kind of put people together and hope that the one guy will get the other guy over, like in Eddie Kingston and Hook's case. But in
Mhm.
reality, I feel like Hook is bringing Eddie Kingston kind of down, right? Like Eddie Kingston's he's on the pre-show, like He don't got to be on the pre-show. He could be on the main show. You know.
Absolutely. I agree with that. All right, let's get into the main card here, man. I'm gonna start off hot. Is in a no holds barred match. Of course, John Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly. Do you think it is Kyle's time?
Hey, we're overdue, bro. We're overdue. Uh, my guy is gonna murder John Moxley, bro. We're gonna witness a live murder. You gonna pull out a gun, Brian Pillman style, bro.
Oh no.
No, actually, so like, bro, if you recall, back in 2022, Kyle Fletcher was like, I'm sorry, not Kyle Fletcher, Kyle O'Reilly
O'Reilly.
was in the main title picture, but then he got injured. He took a year off and stuff. He got healthy, and unfortunately, had to start back in the mid card again. And people who don't remember, like, late Ring of Honor, like, Roddy
Mm,
Strong, Roddy Strong, Adam Cole, and Kyle O'Reilly, like before WWE, bro, they were killers, man. They were real, like real deal. Like, and
mm,
Kyle O'Reilly, especially as a submission specialist, and John Moxley also, with his grappling background and winning a gold, I think at Naga recently or whatever. Like,
mm.
bro, that's gonna be a fun match to watch. But I think John Moxley, you can probably chime in if you agree or disagree. I think John Moxley is being written out of the what do you call it, the Death Riders.
Yeah, it looks like it. I don't think they want him in the club.
Yeah, there for a guy that like the Moxley, people talk so much shit about him on the internet, bro. Like, but they don't know. Like, if you've read his book or you know anything about him, Moxley is a
Mm,
true student of the game. He is a true student of like Terry Funk, bro. Like he is not going to like he doesn't have no backstage politics, man. He's gonna put over Kyle O'Reilly. He put over Darby.
mm,
Dude, he tapped for Kyle O'Reilly in Blood and Guts like with more like with almost a more pronounced like oh shit like I'm dying sort of tap than he did for
yeah,
Darby at Wrestle Dream. So like, dude, I mean, this is really exciting, bro. Kyle O'Reilly he's a guy that deserves it, man. He's worked hard and he's came back from his injury. I think Kyle wins it.
it is Kyle O'Reilly's time. Me and my friend, when we were watching NXT back, a few years ago when Kyle O'Reilly in the Undisputed Era was part of it, we always said, "Is it Kyle O'Reilly's time?" Because we always see him losing in NXT matches. But I think I agree with you. I think it's Kyle time to shine. Please.
One
Um,
thing that I really love about the whole like undisputed era, like
yes.
they were guys that had a very similar but outright unique style to each other, right? Like
Yes.
Adam Cole was probably like, like the all rounder of the group. And like Roderick Strong is the king of the backbreaker. Dude, Roderick Strong is like your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, dude.
Yes.
I
Yes.
saw a tweet today. Have you played the Tony Hawk games?
The new ones?
Well, in general, like you played them, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so you know how there's an emphasis on combos and keeping your trick line going and stuff? Someone
Yes.
said Roddy Strong wrestles like he's trying to keep a combo going in Tony Hawk, and I could not.
Oh,
I'm like, dude, from one move to the next to the next to the next. And then Kyle O'Reilly is a submission specialist, dude. He is a
yes.
legit like grappler, and he works that with his strikes. And I think he is super well matched against some of the best in the world. It's his time to shine, bro. And I think Moxley putting him over could be the rub that he needs to catapult himself back to the main event picture.
Good to me. But what about Bobby Fish? He's looking kind of old recently.
Bobby Fish, yo, where's the lie, ladies and gentlemen? I, look, I love the picture of him on the top rope in TNA when he comes out. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, oh, basking in his own glory. I'm like, bro, like you did not cook, man. Like he would run
Damn.
through a wall for Triple H. Look where that got him.
Damn. He's like unfortunately the Marty Jannetty, a part of the group there.
Except he did it to himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Marty though. Marty dealt with backstage politics with shitty Shawn Michaels, but that's a story for another time.
Absolutely. Let's continue our next matchup here. It is a fatal four-way tag team match. The winning team chooses the stipulation for their semi match in the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament. It is Babes of Wrath, of course, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, versus Sisters of Sin. I don't know that was their name. Julie Hart and Sky Blue versus Timeless Love Bombs. We're just making up names now. Timeless Tony Storm and Mina versus Megan and Bane. Megan Bane and Maria Saphir. Who do you have here, man?
Okay, so Marina and Megan Bain are an accident tag team because
Hmm.
Penelope Ford unfortunately got injured,
Oh, right.
but
Okay.
Marina has gotten really over like recently after Blood and Guts, especially. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna lie, like Marina to me for the longest time was just like, okay, like you're a UFC, like scraggler that couldn't make it in UFC. Now you're just doing wrestling, right? But
Yes.
like, okay, like her character work has and just her storytelling in the ring is really good. Um, I think that the fact that you can pick the stipulation when you win is interesting.
Yes.
I think that the two teams that gave a promo on Dynamite or Collision on Wednesday, whichever show it was, I don't remember which hour it was in, but it was either Mina and Tony or the Sisters of Sin. They both had a promo segment talking about picking a stipulation. I think it's going to be one of them, and
Mm.
I think it's going to be Sisters of Sin. Uh, I think that that's my pick to win the entire tournament.
Okay.
Um, and because they are the heels, they're slimy. They have Tekla in their corner, always doing shenanigans. I think that that's going to work to their advantage, and they're going to probably come out and pick the stipulation.
Sounds good to me. Do you think Tony Storm is missing uh her lover, who is now in NXT?
Not at all, bro. Her lover has been sentenced to a lifetime of mediocrity, as
Mm,
as she claimed it. But I mean, I do think that they both are happy where they want to be. I know Blake
yeah.
just won the North American Women's Championship.
She has, yes.
It sounds weird saying Blake Monroe, but whatever.
Like Moreno.
Uh, yeah, Mariah May just rolls off the tongue a lot easier. But I think that Tony and Mina have like the weird girl in the back of the classroom energy, like the weird art student, like weird theater kid energy,
Mm,
and I don't think that they're missing anything. No. Uh, I do think Babes of Wrath, like I like them as a team, but I don't see them picking a stipulation. Like, what would they pick? Like
right.
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's get into our next matchup here. This should be a stipulation match or like some hardcore, something. But it's just a singles match. It's Pac versus Darby Allen. Who do you have here?
Low key, man. I haven't thought much about this one, but kind of gather my thoughts now. I think that if Kyle O'Reilly wins against Moxley, then Pac has to win here. Um,
Hmm.
I think that, but I also don't know how Pac would beat Darby because Darby's like unbeatable technically. I'm gonna stick with my gut, and so the reason why this is not a stipulation match, I think, is because both of them are really good, like actual mat wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
This is gonna be like a real graps, these guys, despite having an affinity for high flying spot fest, they don't need this kind of match to tell the story. And I think it's going to work in both of their favors, raising their stock as performers in the eyes of the audience. Uh, I think Pac wins this one. I don't know how. Maybe Wheeler Yuta and Claudio get involved, but yeah, I think that Pac wins this one. even though I rooting for Darby as obviously as a babyface here, but Pac wins.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think I think Darby needs this win because he almost kind of drowned last time we've seen him on a pay-per-view. Or almost died. But I think Darby should win this. I know. Didn't Pac get a haircut? He got a
Pac
haircut,
got a
right?
haircut. He got
Yeah.
stupid jacked. Looked like a Popeye enemy, bro.
Yes.
He like it is. He was already shredded, but now he's
Yeah.
like jacked, bro. He's on that 2 chicken cutlet asparagus diet, bro. He is,
Oh.
the freaking say your prayer, take your vitamins diet,
Oh,
bro.
jeez.
Um, Although if you recall back to Blood and Guts, Pac did throw Darby into a flaming table,
Yes. Yes.
so
Yes.
that Darby could get the rub back here. We could also maybe see Gabe Kidd get involved. So like, let's be real. If you have like Claudio, Gabe Kidd, and Wheeler Yuta get involved, then yeah, Darby's not winning. But I think Darby remains protected
Mm.
by shenanigans happening, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be fine with that. Actually, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
We gotta keep Darby strong because this kid is going. He's been through so much in his life. Um, his dad showed up last time. I'm glad that happened. That was a great moment too. Um, but all right. There's another big match here. Is a no disqualification match, of course, or a hardcore match, or an Extreme Rules match, whatever you want to call it, for the AEW TNT Championship. It is Kyle Fletcher, the champion, versus Mark Briscoe. If Briscoe loses, he will have to join the family. Who do you have here?
Okay, this is gonna sting, right? I think I think Kyle Fletcher loses here, man. I think Mark Briscoe gets the win
Okay.
because I just don't see like the story of Mark Briscoe potentially joining the Don Callis family doesn't have any legs, right? In
Mm.
my eyes, at least, because like everybody's already in the family, right? Like, plus the more overarching story that's there to be told with the family is between Okada and Takeshita, which is going to come to a head at Wrestle Dream. Or predict
Yeah.
that when that's down the line. The
Mm.
C2 is starting next week.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it's okay. Okay, like you don't have 5 matches between each other for Mark Briscoe to finally like lose again, right?
Right.
I think he's gonna hit a J driller and he's gonna get that dub, bro. He's gonna win that first singles title, and Mark Briscoe, we know as much as anybody, he deserves it, man. Uh, it you know it and Kyle losing to Mark Briscoe isn't a shame in any way. He lost to Hangman, like
Yeah.
like they're like Kyle is a sort of situated as the guy that is a champion, but it is still too early in his career. He has a few more losses to take and a few more things to learn. I think. Not in a Stevie Richards way, because I think Kyle Fletcher is one of the best in the world. But I
Yeah.
think Kyle Fletcher just has a bit more like a chip on his shoulder. I think in a way, right? I feel as if Kyle Fletcher will be ousted from the family in one way or another. I don't think he needs the family. I think Takeshita will be the guy for the family for the foreseeable future. So
You don't want to see Mark in a suit if he joins the family.
I forgot that was one of the heat garnering moments, but I could I could picture many things happening before Mark Briscoe in a suit. I mean, just today we saw Trump looking up at Zoran, smiling all wide eyed, right? Like
Yeah.
like I could picture that before I see Mark Briscoe in a suit. Let's put it that way.
That's a good take. All right. Now, now, I don't know if it means something now, but they always have every year. It's the Casino Gauntlet match for the AEW National Championship. Do you have anybody in mind?
Well, there's rumored to be some debut.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who though. I haven't read any names particularly. What we do know is that in these debut matches, the guy that the guy or like the guy or the girl that comes in as the debut doesn't automatically win. They get There's some storytelling that gets worked into them having a spot on TV for the next few weeks. I do think it's really interesting that Bobby and Shelton are starting it.
Yeah.
Both. I I kind of want Ricochet to win it. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of my pick for now. Like, because I don't think Bobby or Shelton need a belt. Not that Ricochet needs one either, but a heel having a belt is always like a little bit more of a like a rub, right? It's a bit more
Yeah.
of like a little boost that makes you hate them a bit more. Um, yeah, I think Ricochet is the guy to win it.
I agree with you too because I think Ricochet's characters in AEW has been so much better than he was the entire time in WWE. Like he got to go. He's understanding a character that he's doing, so which is great. So yeah, I do want Ricochet to win.
Yeah, Ricochet is like. I mean, I don't have any football loyalty. I don't watch football at all, but I do know that people hate Eagles fans, and the guy,
Mm,
like, I mean, him and the Gates of Agony, they're so like royally dressed in their long robes and everything. Ricochet comes down in a goddamn backwards snapback and an Eagles hoodie, like like the guy will ride or die for the team. It's like that one guy that thinks he plays for the team. So
yes.
he has a character. He can talk for sure, and him with a belt would make it even more insufferable, right? Like almost in a quasi MJF kind of way, but less angry.
Yeah. I 100%. All right, let's get into our next matchup here. It is for the tag team championships in a tag team match, of course. It's the champions Bardito versus FTR. What do you have here?
I don't know, 12-time FTR, 12-star FTR, whatever number we're on, bro. They're gonna win, no question. I am a huge FTR mark. As much as I love Bandito and Brody King, I love both of them. Got much love for them. I think that, bro, to me, like AEW, where the Young Bucks or FTR are not the tag champions, there's a void in my heart that is just needs to be filled by one of those teams having the belts. Uh, like they are quite literally the proverbial like Rock and Austin of the tag team division in modern day wrestling, and there is not world peace without one of them laying claim to that to those belts. And I think FTR, like, it's their time, man. Like they have they've really like they I guess they've done the character work, they've done the comedic work. Like, did you see on Dynamite when like Dax would like give the what do you call it, the mic to Bandito's abuela, then take it away? Like, bro, that shit
Yes.
was funny as hell, man. Like I just love FTR, man. I'm a huge mark. No, like full emotions there. They gotta win it, bro. They gotta win it.
No, I understand. It's like John Cena and his spinner belt. It just connects. If someone else has a spinner belt, like Triple H, it doesn't make sense. It's John Cena with the spinner belt. It's FTR with the tag titles. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
I get
man.
it.
I
Um,
also think that there's a story to be told with Edge and Christian winning the tag titles too. And who better to give it to them than FTR, right? So I think that's what the next pivot is going to be. Uh, within the next year or so, within the next couple months. So, and Brodito, like, Dude, when they won, I was so surprised. I'm like, yo, there's no way they just won the belts, right?
Yeah.
And like they deserved it, dude. I've said this many times before, and you know what I'm about to say. I don't like when two random ass dudes are just thrown into a tag team, but yo, they really made it work, and they proved me wrong. Um, like they got their shine, and like they definitely got the respect that they deserved and elevated their ranks as a tag team and as singles performers by having that title. But FTR, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is our time.
If two random people are put on a team and it works, just keep going with it. But you want FTR, you'll get FTR as champions. You'll see it live when they win the titles. Don't worry.
What do you
Don't
think? You
worry.
think FTR wins it or what?
Uh I feel like FTR should win it. I feel like maybe FTR wins it and then Edge, Christian shows up and they do their finishers on them and it will set up for the next pay-per-view.
Interesting. Okay, so normally I'm not a fan of people interrupting like a victory for their belts, but I think if anybody, okay, so first of all, FTR have been, they're like the GOAT tag team, right? Them and the Young Bucks, like 1A,
Yeah.
1B, right? Like they can afford to have it would be like their third victory with the tag team, their third run with the AEW tag titles. They can afford Edge and Christian, raining on their parade, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like you're seeing a first time winner. And plus, they're the bad guys too, right? So if that were to happen, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna tweak. It would be so sick to see that live, you know?
It'd be good. It'd be good. All right, let's get into our next few matches here. This is for $1 million, a trio match. The winner will receive $1 million. It is Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express, of course, Jungle, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Josh Alexander. Who's gonna win $1 million?
I think that okay.
Yeah,
I I feel like there are some really deep undertones being told of the elite getting back together.
yeah,
Um, with Matt and Nick, like, yeah, they're heels, but like they have been reluctant to take on Don Callis's very slimy advances to have them join the family.
yeah.
I don't know what winning $1 million does in terms of predicting where they go and how the elite reform,
Yeah.
but I think maybe the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander win this, and there's a story to be told about like them forfeiting the money later on and choosing friendship over money.
Oh, I like that. That's very deep, at least in the story wise aspect.
I also think that the elite could potentially, like the trio of the Bucks and Kenny Omega, could be the ones to take the trio titles away from the Ops and thereby help Hangman, and therefore the original elite kind of gets the band back together. But that's
Yeah,
sort of, I think we're jumping the gun here. Like what we do know for sure is that Full Gear is going to be like a reset, right? And usually, if you treat every year in AEW like a season of a TV show, World's End is always the season finale, right?
yes.
And depending on if we see a trios match at World's End for the trios title against the Ops, I think that could sway which team wins this $1 million. Right now, I think that the Bucks and Josh Alexander are going to win it.
Sounds like a fair bet. Because they kind of need it. You have seen the Young Bucks going through pain every week.
Bro, Don Cow is paid off with the pyro guys, so that's something. But they gotta get that pyro budget from somewhere.
Somewhere it will be from this $1 million here. All right, we have two more matches, man. Let's get it going. It is for the singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Of course, the champion Chris Statlander versus I don't know how many belts she has. It is
13.
Mercedes 13.
Yeah.
She just
Yeah.
took it off from the what's her name? The
Red
Phoenix.
Velvet.
No.
We're talking about yeah. So she took
Um
the Malaysian championship or whatever from Nor Diana Phoenix or Nor Phoenix
yes.
Diana, something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that was first of all really cool.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know about
You know.
what's her name? Yeah, I don't know about Nor Phoenix Diana, right? But I was talking to my boy last night, and he was like, "Yo, like I've known about her for like a while, like,
Mhm.
and like she like, dude, representation is so cool, man. Like I know like TNA tried with like Raka Khan like back in the day or whatever her name was,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like whoever was wearing the niqab like wasn't actually Muslim, but it was so cool, right? Like she was like a ninja type fighter,
Yes.
but you know, knowing that Nora Phoenix is gonna eventually get like the rub from Mercedes whenever she drops all the belts, that is like a dream come true. I think for like any woman today, like in the wrestling business.
Yeah, if she can do it, if you're a hijabi and you want to be a wrestler, you can do it too.
No excuses.
Yeah, for real. But yes, of course, Chris Statlander, the champion, versus Mercedes Monye. Do you think? Do you think Mercedes will take it here?
I mean, any listener of this podcast that listens to our predictions knows how much of a Mercedes mark I am.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that she wins it. Um,
Oh.
I think that yeah, like Chris Statlander is so over. Like
Mhm.
not only her being over, like essentially with Chris and Hangman being the respective world champions, people don't recognize it with Chris Statlander, but that's like a homegrown champion, right?
Yeah.
And to not only just be like, so some people, I think AEW kind of exists in like a bubble where I guess like how do I put this? I guess like like the fans that watch AEW know who is like who is good, but
Yeah.
the whole wrestling world may not exactly acknowledge that. But Chris Statlander has steadily made a name for herself, like as just like a badass and like an amazing wrestler and like just a powerhouse, right? And I think
Mhm.
that like we saw that earlier with Hangman and earlier in his career. Chris Statlander is having that moment now. I
Yeah.
think that for her to put over Mercedes, sorry, for Mercedes to put her over, like Mercedes could always be like that one belt that she never won, right? I think
Mhm.
that could be a story told in the next couple years, right? It's Chris Statlander's moment. Mercedes does not need to have that title right now. Doesn't need it in general, I think. But I would love to see Chris Statlander win that match and really solidify herself as like like the final boss in Mercedes kind of timeline.
That'd be interesting because if let's say Mercedes takes it, then what? Then what? That's the question.
I think
Um,
that's where it becomes part of the reason why I'm riding with Statlander as my
yeah.
prediction because then what, right? Mercedes in the beginning was kind of booed a lot, right? Like before people realized like, yo, she's the real deal. She can put on like a 5-star match with like anybody, right? Or if you're Dave Meltzer 4.5 because he doesn't give women 5-star matches.
Oh.
But um, shout out to Dave Meltzer though. But no, yeah, I think that Mercedes winning the world championship makes all the rest of her belts matter less, right?
Yeah.
Where right now it's like you always want that shiny new thing, and
That's
that shiny new thing that if she wins a women's world championship, it's like, okay, what's next? You won it all, right? Like,
yeah.
and then that would mean the world champion has to drop all of those individual titles. The world champion has to take 13 losses, bro. We've never seen a world champion take that many losses, dude. It doesn't make
No.
sense.
That's a lot of titles. But yeah, it's all about the chase. And all right, Chris Statlander is your choice. Dave Meltzer, if you're listening to this, Sasha Banks versus Bailey, NXT Brooklyn, Iron Man match. That's a 5 out of 5.
No doubt.
Great match. All right. The main event here. It is in a steel cage match. Have you ever been inside of a steel cage?
Have I been inside of a steel cage?
Yeah.
Well, I hope the answer is no. I don't think I've been inside of a steel cage.
Okay.
I've witnessed steel cage matches, but I have not partaken in any steel cage matches. No, or been inside of a steel cage.
Yeah, I'm glad I asked. Well, it's in a steel cage match for the AEW World Championship. The champion, Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. Do you think? Do you think Hangman has what it takes to beat Joe?
I mean, absolutely.
Mm.
I think so. When AEW first started, they did steel cage matches very few and far between. But I think Hangman I might be wrong, but I think Hangman has the most steel cage matches. Like he's partaken in the most steel cage matches in AEW history, right? In
Mm.
a way, that's like his match. Um, I feel like okay, like I love Samoa Joe, man. Like if we were doing that top 5 list that we did a long time ago, now I feel like Samoa Joe would be like number
Oh.
5. Like I love Samoa Joe, man. And I knowing he's at he said it himself, he's near the end of his career.
Mm.
I would love to see him have one more run with the world championship, but I just don't. Hangman is the proverbial final boss of wrestling. I don't think that you. I don't think Samoa Joe beats Hangman here, especially in a match specialty that Hangman is known for.
Yeah.
We do know from TNA days that Joe is no stranger to steel cage matches, but Hangman just kind of turns it up to like 11.
Yes.
Um, Also, somebody on Reddit pointed out that in the match against Powerhouse Hobbs and in the match against Shibata on Wednesday, Hangman's boot was involved in one way. So I think we can comfortably predict that Hangman's boot will also come off or be involved in the steel cage match. That's going to be cool to see. But yeah, I all I know is I'm glad that my seats are a little elevated so that I'll be able to see inside of the steel cage properly. But
Perfect.
I think Hangman wins. What do you think?
I don't know, man, because what Adam Page is the AEW original. There's ECW original guys. Adam Page is the AEW original. I feel like he should carry this title until the end of time, the end of times, but like for a long time at least. So I know Joe's at the end of his career, but I feel like Adam should win this.
Yeah, at first I was so okay. First of all, I was not sure why they had to run it back.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, oh, okay. Like I mean, I both of these guys are two of my favorites, right? I'm like, oh, damn. Like I'm not complaining that I'm seeing a Samoa Joe main event, right?
Yeah.
But like, yo, like, did we really need this match again on the next pay per view? Are they running out of ideas, right? But yo, like they announced a steel cage, and I just lost it. I'm like, yo, no way, right? Like, because I know what Hangman can get up to in the steel cage matches, right? Like,
Yeah.
and just like just really in AEW, the steel cage has sort of been less about keeping two guys that hate each other in, but more about keeping the shenanigans out, right?
Yeah.
So you know that it just comes down. I mean, unless they're Don Callis, he'll find a way to throw a screwdriver in there so someone could drive a stake through somebody else's heart, right? But I just think like it's just whatever heat that the match needed, just instant injection of heat back into this match, and I just think like yo, like it. I'm so excited, man. It's hard to make these predictions. It's hard to pick. It's hard to choose,
Yes.
like like your mind over your heart, right? But
Yeah.
like I think Hangman in this case is both mind and heart.
Mm. Yeah, I saw him winning that title at over here in Texas, and that was a tear jerker, at least for my friends and I. It was a good time.
Oh, dude, yeah,
Um,
I was for sure crying. I cried when Hangman won against Kenny Omega at Full Gear 2021,
mm,
and yeah, I goddamn cried it all out, bro. Hangman is just he is the main character, bro.
him and Darby Allen and Orange Cassidy. I feel like they are the three originals of AEW.
They are the three originals for sure. I think so. Hangman and Swerve is like
Mm,
Spider Man and Venom,
yes.
right? Spider Man and Venom, they are rocking Austin. Cue "My Way" by Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Just one. Like,
Yeah.
bro. There's just so much. Like, everybody has somehow somewhat of an equal footing in their own special way, and it just becomes so hard to pick, right? Like, like who your favorite is, because like you feel like your favorite is changing like every week.
Mm,
And everybody genuinely has so much steam and so much hate for their character. Like everybody's so over. Like in a way, you could add Will Ospreay to that trio of Hangman and Swerve, right? And then you could
yeah.
also like MJF, dude. Like MJF is legit like villain number one, right? Like,
Yeah.
he is the Green Goblin to Venom and Spider Man, right? Like,
Mm,
just so many interesting contrasts. Speaking of comics, Full Gear is presented by DC, so that'll be cool too,
yes.
right? Like,
The AEW is a part of the they have their own comic book, so which is pretty cool. I like that.
yeah, I
Um,
actually I have two copies of the little teaser that they released. It was like $5, but I'm waiting for them to
oh,
actually drop like the whole like DC like arc and stuff. I mean, just today there was like a leak or like a teaser of like Mercedes has Harley Quinn in like a sleeper
per-
hold.
yeah,
That was pretty cool, but
perfect.
yeah, like again a little bit off topic here, but you know, yeah, I ultimately Hangman wins. Full Gear is capped off with just planting the seeds for World's End and just overall fantastic night of matches. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Sounds good, and you'll be there. And that sounds good. And that was it for our predictions for Full Gear 2025. Awesome. Where before we go, of course, we did mention about retirement matches. There's a guy who's gonna have his last match in a few weeks from now. John Cena. Who do you think is his last opponent ever?
Um. Okay, so
If
they're
you,
doing a tournament for it, right?
yeah.
So you have to catch me up a little bit. What's like the standings right now in the tournament?
Well, let me look it up because it's been changing a little bit.
I know Sheamus got like a shoulder problem that he got like removed today. I saw that on Reddit.
Hmm. So, of course, Dolph Ziggler was a part of that tournament. He lost. Let me find a good bracket here.
He lost to Gunther, right?
He did, or no, he lost to
Dominic?
Dominic.
I don't know. I don't watch the product.
Hold on, hold on. Hold on. Okay.
I saw
So
a clip of it, but I don't remember who it
yes.
was.
So okay, so I'll tell you the bracket right now. So it was so on left side, Miz versus Jey Uso. Jey Uso won. Then it's Damian Priest versus Rusev. Rusev won. Now they're Rusev and Uso is gonna battle. And the Sheamus and Nakamura match, we don't know what's happening because, as you mentioned, Sheamus got hurt. Then Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona lost to LA Knight on the right side. Penta versus Finn Balor. That's going to happen, or I think it happened tonight. Ziggler lost to Solo Sokoya. And then what's his name? Evans from NXT lost to Gunther. And then Carmelo Hayes won against Bronson Reed. So we have these guys. There's one mystery guy, but for you, Azam, who do you want for John Cena's last opponent?
I have no eggs in any basket, but I do know that I will be watching the Fed. I will watch John Cena's last match whenever it happens. Because I vividly remember watching his debut.
Same here. Same here, man.
Yeah, Thursday Night SmackDown or whatever back in the day.
Yeah.
But of the names you mentioned, I mean, I would probably pick Gunther to be the final match. Um,
I
I don't think
guess.
either him or Carmelo Hayes. Like, but I feel like WWE is kind of fumbling Carmelo, from what I understand. Once again, I don't watch the product, so I don't know. But you tell me, he's sort of fumbled, right? Like in terms of
He
booking wise.
he teamed up with Miz, and then they had a those simple the Miz beat up McCollum Hayes because he took over his spot, but now Hayes is on his own. We are on his back ish. He just needs more time, but I don't think he would be his last opponent for John Cena.
Yeah, I would. Well, outsider Penta is not going to be it. So Finn Balor probably won tonight.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Interestingly, none of the guys that are advancing have any history with John Cena. So, I mean, if you asked me a couple years ago, I would have picked like Austin Theory or somebody. I feel like Theory was sort of like that John Cena protege. I think it's going to be Gunther. He's a safe pick.
It is very
It,
safe.
would you
He,
agree? Like
I,
he's the guy that wins it.
he's the one that makes sense. But if I have to pick, I know he's in AEW, but it should be Edge. Edge should be the last opponent for John Cena.
Yeah, that is proverbially that would be the big money match. I remember watching whatever event that was that Edge like did the FU off the ladder through two
Yeah.
tables to win the rated R championship, right? That
Yes.
was that was before they made the spinner belt the rated R belt, right? Like
Yes.
I think I watched that in like Pakistan or something. It was like summer or some shit like that. But I remember
Oh.
I watched it then and that was a vivid moment. Hated Edge.
Hmm.
Hated Edge. Now he's one of my favorites. But yeah, it would have made a lot more sense for that to happen. I do know that Edge is like currently working on Percy Jackson and still is
Yeah.
with AEW, so that won't be happening.
No.
Unless okay, so it could also just be okay. If there's any way for Dominic to somehow take Sheamus's mystery spot,
The thing
I would
is,
pick Dominic to win it all. But I don't know. So
so I know you're not watching, but last Monday at Madison Square Garden, Dominic versus John Cena happened, and John Cena beat Dom, and he became the IC champion. So next week, Survivor Series, Dom wants his rematch for the IC title.
oh, I see. So Dominic might win it back.
Yeah.
Cena's last match is in December, right?
Yeah, December 17th at Saturday's main event in DC.
I see. Okay. So Dominic may get the rub at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. That's cool then. I just wanted Dominic to get something.
You got something.
Because the guy is, like, what do you call it? You know that meme of Dwight Howard inviting people to play in Taiwan? Come on down,
Yes.
Katie, come on down.
Yes.
That's me with Dominic, bro. Come on down, bro. Come to AEW. No, I'm a fan. I think, okay, mystery guy or Gunther, because
Yeah.
but knowing WWE is gonna be goddamn Jey Uso or somebody, bro. Like, I don't
No,
want to see that match, man.
that won't happen. Don't worry. That I mean, it could be, but no one wants that. No one. I love to yeet, but I'm not eating at that.
Jey Uso can yeet his ass off my TV screen. That's what he can do.
Give a guy a slack. He eats towards down the arena. He gets gassed. Yeah, I feel bad for him.
You got to work on that cardio, brother.
He should.
Yo, I feel like Seth Rollins should be like Cena's last opponent.
He's hurt, unfortunately.
Yeah, I thought people thought that was a work, but yeah, he was walking around with a sling, I guess. So
Yeah.
Who could a mystery guy be?
I don't know.
Who they could.
I mean, the mystery
Maybe-
guys past weeks were Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler. So, someone did mention when John Cena was doing the pipe bomb against CM Punk during their rivalry, he did mention Matt Cardona, Nick Nemeth, and Claudio Castagnoli. So maybe Cesaro might show up. Who knows?
We can dream.
We can dream.
We as in not me. Y'all can dream. I don't think Tony Khan is throwing any sort of a bone to WWE, especially with the whole like Sting retirement. Like, I think he asked some people to show up, and like people didn't. Like, they didn't clear it. Or Bryan Danielson's retirement, they didn't acknowledge that either. So,
right.
yeah.
There we go. All right, that was our Full Gear predictions. Azam, where can they find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter and on Dropkicked at Wrestling Bhai, BHAI. I am the older brother of pro wrestling. I'm the old head.
Yes, and you're what, the top 6% in that app?
Well, there's a lot more reviewers now. I think I'm squarely situated somewhere in the top 40. I don't remember the percentage. They're definitely top 40 though, which is crazy to think about. Like, there's thousands of users. Somehow, little old me is number 40 ranked active wrestling reviewer in the world. I have an opinion. I'm very unabashed and loud about my opinion, and I'm just glad some people tend to enjoy it sometimes. That's all.
That's why you're here, man. All right. You, of course, can follow this podcast on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and TikTok and Instagram. I post clips there. If you want to be a part of this podcast, write me an email at brownboywonder@gmail.com. If you have any reactions, any questions, please send those emails to that one. And until then, we'll see you next time.